Lurianic cosmology operates as a topographical blueprint, mapping spiritual emanation through a series of rigid spatial and linguistic dimensions. This architecture is governed by a singular fourfold data structure known as the Avaya expansions, specific ways of spelling the four-letter name of God to produce different numerical values. These expansions are identified by the names AB, Sag, Ma, and Bon. Each represents a distinct frequency or layer within the divine hierarchy. These four names map to the linguistic components of Hebrew text, an acronym called TANTA. AB corresponds to Taamim, the musical accents. Sag aligns with Nekudot, the vowels. Ma pairs with Tagin, the crowns atop letters, and Bon represents the Otиёt, the letters themselves. The system utilizes a recursive logic, where each of these four expansions is nested within the other. The TANTA protocol replicates itself at every level of the hierarchy. Every stage of development across the various worlds contains this complete fourfold matrix. No aspect of this reality exists outside of the protocol. Macro-level structures are built from these micro-level linguistic codes, ensuring that the same organizational rules apply from the highest source to the lowest manifestation. We see this structure in Adam Kadmon, the highest level of emanation. The uppermost region, from the Karkafta, or skull, down to the ears, is defined by the AD protocol. Within this boundary, light belongs exclusively to Taamim, the highest linguistic tier. The text specifies that anatomical terms like head and ears are metaphorical. They serve as cognitive tools to help us map an environment that is otherwise beyond human perception. This upper region differs from the world of Atzilut below it because it contains no Partsufim, or organized spiritual personas. At this level, the light has not yet been partitioned into complex identities. Inside the skull, the light is isotropic. It emanates with total uniformity, filling the space equally in all directions without restriction. In this state of total uniformity, concepts like front and back have no meaning. Spatial orientation requires a break in symmetry that has not yet occurred. A transition occurs at the nekavim, the apertures or openings beginning at the ears. Here, the Sag protocol, associated with the vowels, initiates the first movement toward form. This symmetry break polarizes emanation into directional vectors. The forehead is designated as panim, or front, aligning with the exiting light. The back of the neck becomes the akor, or back, lacking apertures to channel light outward. As the light passes through these apertures, it undergoes a slight condensation. This ensures the light remaining within the structure is always of a higher intensity than the light projected outside of it. All spiritual and physical dimensions are generated through this process of restricting and channeling infinite light into specific pathways. The light exiting the ear apertures follows a specific trajectory, projecting downward toward the Shibboleth Zakan, the lower point of the beard. These two streams remain separated. They hover over the face but do not connect at the bottom, leaving an open space between them. The right aperture projects 10 sephirot of Or Makif, the surrounding light, while the left projects 10 sephirot of Or Panimi, the internal light. A gematria calculation links this physical location to its governing protocol. The Hebrew word ozen, ear, has a numerical value of 58. When combined with the letter He, valued at 5, the total is 63. The number 58 provides the baseline for the location, while the 5 represents the 5 root partsufim contained within this level of light. The sun is 63, the exact value of the Avaya expansion Sag. The location of the ear and the Sag expansion are mathematically aligned. At this stage, there is a vast distance between the inner light and the surrounding light as they are projected from the apertures. Because these two forces are too far apart to interact, a kli, or vessel, cannot form. The light remains in a state of uncontained potential. Internal to Adam Kadmon, the system uses a nested configuration. Higher light protocols are enclosed within the vessels of lower protocols to prevent them from overwhelming the system. Specifically, the lower half of the Sag protocol, its Nekudot, is clothed entirely within the internal layers of A and Bon. To generate an external world, these A and Bon layers must move upward to couple with the highest unclothed layer, the Taamim of Sag. This upward movement functions as man or female waters, a systemic signal from the lower vessels that triggers a response from the higher light. This structural coupling results in the outward projection of the external bone expansion, establishing the first stable external world. This feedback loop is the engine of creation. Lower vessels must proactively ascend to stimulate the projection of new environments, like the world of Nekudim. The system reaches a stable state when the overall AB protocol interacts with the internal Taamim of the Sag expansion. This coupling of the highest levels of light generates the name MA, which serves as the active male component of the next world. The world of Atzilut is constructed by cross-referencing MA and bone. The highest level, Atik, forms from the refined Taamim. The lowest tier, Zaire Anpin and Nukva, is built from the condensed Otiyot. In certain configurations, the text requires the bone protocol to be established before the MA protocol. This is a structural necessity. The Bon protocol defines the vessel's boundary conditions, ensuring the active light of the MA protocol has a stable container. The gate of TANTA establishes a framework where spiritual architecture follows the predictable rules of its own linguistic and numerical code.